Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is FEDEX Draconis, and this is Kaon Reviews. Alright everyone, now as you saw in the intro, today's video review is going to focus on Transformers Legacy Bulkhead from the Prime universe. And this has been a figure I have had mixed feelings on. Now I have seen everything from the initial image designs to the various sneak peeks from Prime vs. Prime and a few others, as well as some of the reviews from some of the local stateside reviewers. And I was still a little bit on the fence here. Now, granted, I think the one thing that really grew on me is the fact that his face sculpt and head sculpt kind of remained the same. So I decided to go ahead and give it a shot, considering some of the third-party, or at least one of the third-party weapons upgrades that I've seen designed for this particular figure, as well as the Transformer Prime Bulkhead. I'm like, wow, okay, let me go ahead and give it a shot. In addition, I am looking at possibly getting RC, mostly because I have seen some upgrades for her figure as well. So I am looking forward to getting that. But first things first, let's go ahead and concentrate on there. Now, as you can see on here, you got the really great artwork on here. You see where his troop carrier all-terrain vehicle is at. On the side, you do see a full body shot as well as a close-up head. On this side, you also see some artwork on here which shows off Hot Rod, RC, Blaster, and Bulkhead. Let's see, and over here you have the product shot, which includes both vehicle as well as robot mode. Now, I do see, in addition to the head sculpt, one of his primary weapons is this little round ball mace here that he has. That is pretty cool. Also, this figure has grown on me, so the top canopy in the back of the vehicle becomes his shield, or right shield I should say. He does have a top shoulder mounted cannon of some kind, but let's take a look at the figure here. Now, as you can tell, he's got a really cool head sculpt. I mean, yeah, that is really awesome looking. Like I said, the figure grew on me, and it is mostly because of that pudding right there. You can tell he's got the clear, transparent blue windows there. It looks like they did apply some paint applications for the windshield wipers, some paint apps for the headlights of some kind, the winch that you see there, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. So there he is in a nutshell, and it's not bad, so far. Again, I had been on the fence for the longest time, and today, as of this recording, I got a chance to go ahead and pick him up, and see if he's all that's cracked up to be. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get them opened up. All right, folks, there he is out of his box and posed and ready for battle. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the reason why I wasn't so jazzed about this version of Bulkhead is because I've always known Bulkhead from Transformers Animated to Transformers Prime. He was always a round figure. To give him this squared off G1 variation of him, it took some getting used to, honestly, at least in my own personal opinion. Now, I have seen some other reviewers, they like it, they love it. As a matter of fact, there's a different variation where he's got the camouflage paint, and that's because he is a wrecker. Honestly, I really didn't like that variation. I haven't gotten it. I've just seen the images and reviews and whatnot. Well, not even the reviews, just the little teasers that we've seen online. But I like this. I like the basic color scheme, the green, the different variations of the greens. Now, granted, you know, I'm pretty sure that the other variation with the different camouflage colors would probably be the same, you know, would be a different look. It would still be not, I was about to say Naka. It would still be Bulkhead, but I don't know. I like this cleaner version. I really do. Like I said, it took me a while for this version to grow on me, and and as you can tell, you know, he is a bulky figure. Now, granted, you know, this portion here, where the waist and the crotch area, could have been wider and more up front, so it would be more centralized. But I guess, you know, when it comes down to designing and actually having the physical item are two separate things. Now, of course, this is a throwback from, you know, both his animated as well as his Prime variation. I like the weapon. It's very nice, and it's easy to pop off and pop on. It does split up in half, and you can just wiggle. Yeah, you can be able to just wiggle that out. It's a tight fit on mine, so do be careful. And as you can tell, it just, you know, opens up and covers, and there you go. Now, in addition to this little mace here, you also have this shoulder mounted, I want to say, energy weapon. It almost looks like a weapon that Mr. Freeze would use. It's basically a clear transparent clear blue transparent plastic, which is painted over for certain areas. So it's like a Gatling gun in a way at the same time. Very nice though. I like that you can be able to tab it on the tabs here into the port right here. So I had wondered when I saw that earlier, how is that supposed to go on there? There's no port on here, but yes, there was. There's the port right there on the side, and of course you can just be able to angle it out if you want him to look off to the side, or you can also have it in his hand, you know, or and you can have him, you know, doing it like Megatron in a way. Have it right there, and good God Almighty! That honestly, that I like that. Like I said, it took me a while to get used to this variation. So, oh, in addition, and of course, you probably saw it in the earlier when I showed off the packaging. You can also take this and use it like a riot shield, you know. So There we go, like so. And of course you can have them looking one way and da-da. So not too bad. At least I'm thinking so now. You know, now one thing that I noticed when I first got this figure, I wound up picking him up when I was at Walmart earlier, and I really wasn't expecting it. I was hoping a friend of mine would pick one up since he did see one, but seeing as how I didn't hear back from him, I went ahead and just picked one up. But I was hoping to also pick up RC as well, so I get two for the well, not two for the price of one, but two at the same time. But again, like I said, this figure has grown on me bunches. I mean, good gravy. It is, and as you can tell, it is, you know, it is does have a lot of good articulation. I mean, check out the poses I am putting this puppy on. You know, good gravy. You know, I should go ahead and just adjust the camera angle just a bit and just do an angle down. Like so. And there we go. That is really awesome looking. So again, it's not too bad. So enough playing around. Let's take a look at the details on here. As you can tell, there is a lot of good molded detail. You can see he's got the clear blue transparent windows. They did do some good paint work outlining around the edge of the windows, as well as the wipers on the top. And as I mentioned earlier, he does have some teal headlights here. He does have a winch here, which honestly I wish they could have gone ahead and painted that like a silver or something, so at least you can see that. He does have some good molded detail, as you can tell as the light hits it on his forearms, on his biceps, along his legs, his calves. Very, very well detailed along the sides here. His backpack, I mean, look at that detail there. That is really awesome looking. And there's not much of a backpack unless you put the riot shield on his back. Of course, there is some gaps here, which I'm pretty sure there'll be a third party that will make a gap filler for that, as well as on the bottom of his foot. And of course, you know, we can always see whether or not he can do his kung fu kick, which he can. Yay! I like it when a figure can do his kung fu stance. Of course, he's got thicker legs, but I mean, because he's so top heavy, that's always been an issue for certain figures, and especially with more thinner, slender figures like female type characters. That's where you run into problems, because for some reason they're just not built like that. I'm not sure why they can't hold a kicking pose, but hey, what do I know? All right, so yes, but the most important thing, and I'm going to zoom in with the camera as well, is that pudding. Look at that face sculpt. Good gravy. I swear, this is the one thing that pretty much allowed this figure to grow on me is that the face sculpt looks exactly like Prime Bulkhead. I mean, wow. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's a great look. I'm loving it. So yeah, that is so damn awesome. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to take off the riot shield here and take that off, and we're going to go ahead and work and see about his articulation. So as you can tell, his head is on a type of ball joint, but because he possesses Jay Leno's chin, it does not go 360. He can almost, yeah, he can't really look up all that much. He can look down a little bit. Now if you push his head in, and that's mostly for transformation, then he can really look on the inside. But he can look right, he can look left, a little bit down, but that's about it in terms of head articulation. Now his arm, whoops, that was not supposed to happen. There we go. Now his arms can go 360. He can go up and down like so. He does have a bicep swivel at the top, which is fucking tight on mine. His arms can go a little bit over 90 degrees, and he does have wrist rotation, so that is awesome. Now in addition, he does have waist rotation here close to the crotch instead of at the actual waist. He can kick up like so around 90 degrees. He can kick back a little over 90 degrees. He can bend at 90 degrees, and this knee joint is extremely tight. And he can kick down, he can kick up a little bit. His feet can fold in, but again, that may be due to transformation. And of course, it would just come on. There we go. And of course, he's got ankle tilt, very extreme ankle tilt. And oh man, but wow, there he is. So that is it for the figure details as well as the articulation. So give me a moment to go ahead and move a couple of things aside. I'm going to take off his accessories, and we're going to we're going to go ahead and work on transformation. All right, folks, I am back, and here is Bulkhead in vehicle mode. And I have to say, that there are some issues with it. I mean, granted, there's some open areas here, tires exposed up here, even a couple of areas that will not stay on there. But all in all, it's not a bad looking vehicle. Now granted, some of the wheels just do not roll. They roll, but not a whole lot. There we go. And I honestly wish Hasbro had gone ahead and added some paint applications around the rims here. But it's not too bad looking, if I do say so myself. Now, as a matter of fact, one thing that I probably wasn't paying much attention in the previous reviews I've seen of this figure is that there is weapon storage in vehicle mode, and that is right here. Now, according to the instructions, you gotta plug in the shoulder mounted, Gatling gun. On its side, there's a peg for that. There's also a peg for the mace here. but once it's there, you know, you can store the weapons in vehicle mode. And I mean, it's not bad looking. I think the only drawback is that there is not enough clearance on the underside for these wheels. So I'm hoping that perhaps a third party can be able to make a little bit larger wheel sets, so that way it allows the underside clearance, because that is very, very low to the ground. And also with wheels that the rims are actually, or I should say the wheel wells are actually painted. So, you know, there we go. But nonetheless, I mean, there's a lot of good sculpted vehicle. It's like a military vehicle, and that's exactly how they played, you know, Bulkhead. Now, I'm pretty sure that probably Toy Hacks will make some repo labels on here. There's a lot of green and stuff. I may actually go ahead and get the wrecker version of that. Maybe. Don't hold it to me though. But you can tell a lot of the molded details do carry in this vehicle mode. You also see a couple of gas tanks here, one right here, one on the other side. You know, some oh, I forgot what the hell this is called. A railing, there we go, a railing back here. Supposed to be like cloth canopy around there, but it becomes his shield. And then of course you got this back here, which can come down and be, you know, the ramp. So not too bad. I'm really liking it. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to pull the feet down like so. We're going to open up the sides that are tabbed in here. So there's a tab right there. It goes into that slot right here. Now once these two are untabbed, you're going to go ahead and untab the weapons. So there's that port, that port here, there's that post right there, and the same thing's going to happen with the weapon. And there we go. So once those are out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and untab the gas tanks. Boom. All you got to do is just pull this out, and that will untab everything in a way. Now, you're probably wondering, well, where the hell were these? These were inside the back of the cabs, where once you pull this apart and lift this panel up, like so, you're going to be able to see that this is connected with a ball joint. So all you got to do is untab it from the side of the thigh. There's a small tab here, and goes into that slot right there. And all you got to do is just twist it around like so, so that way this empty part faces out, and you just slide it back in. Once that's in, you close that up. Boom. It is done on that end anyway. Then you do the same thing like so. Untab from the thigh, turn it around, and slide in and close. So there we go. Now we just straighten out the legs. And before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and open up the heel spurs that are in the back. And you have his feet. Ta-da. Not too shabby. Alright, so now these little fold tires will fold in. And now we have Gerwalk Bulkhead. And let me zoom out just a bit and just adjust the camera. There we go. We got Gerwalk Bulkhead. There we go. He is complete. Thank you so much for watching. No, I'm just kidding. Oops. I'm just kidding. Now that is a weird little thing. But all in all, now we're going to go ahead and get this going. So for that, this black piece here will fold down. This section here, which is shaped like an L, will fold up and snap. Now all we gotta do is put this piece down, and there we go. Now you're probably wondering, okay, so where are Bulkhead's arms? That's the beauty of it. They're folded up in here. So now we're gonna lift this up. We're gonna pull Bulkhead's arms out and untab, because these are tabbed together, and that's where this back section that you saw earlier comes from, because what they will do is fold up and hold on, because there is something I am missing. Oh yes, there we go. This back piece where the wheels are, they were tabbed in. You have to lift those up, and this will allow the arms to lift up. And so now we're not done yet, because this top portion does need to go in. So you push that down. Once it clears the head, it just folds in right in here, easy peasy. Oh god, did I actually say that? And now all we gotta do is tab the arms in on either side, and there we go. That is it. We just gotta go ahead and tab this blue section into this portion here, and there we go. And like I said, this one is very, very stiff on mine, but there he is in all his glory, and I am going to go ahead and give him his mace. And I mean, I could go ahead and have him with his Mr. Freeze weapon, which is pretty cool looking, I have to say. Not too bad. And yeah, not too bad. However, I have to say, I do like the fact that this back shield can detach, and it can either be on one side or the other, and of course you can just like so. And there is Bulkhead. And man, oh man, oh man. This, every bad thing I've ever said about this figure, I will gratefully take back, because I mean, all in all, this is not a bad looking figure. Like I said, I had my doubts about this figure. I was not exactly all that jazzed. Like I said, I've seen Bulkhead's evolution from the animated line to Transformers Prime, and I liked the way that they had him as this literally massive round bot. So to see the have him G1-fied took some getting used to, but as you can tell, I think I've gotten used to it. So I'm looking forward to when I do get RC on reviewing her. In addition, if I do wind up getting the weapons upgrade sets, I will come back and revisit this figure for both RC, for both Bulkhead as well as RC, and show you how they work. So, but that is about it. So I'm going to go ahead and, as a matter of fact, bring a couple of figures, and we'll do some size comparisons. And at that point, I'll give you my final thoughts as well as my score. All right, folks. Now, as you can see, I brought out, the Transformers Prime Megatron, who, if anyone's seen my reviews, this is the Takara Tomy version, and that has the upgrade kit, which basically includes his foot pads, the renew of his back, a new head, as well as his new arms and his fusion cannon. But I wanted to show you the size comparisons between the two, and believe me, they scale pretty well, and very, very nice. I'm actually looking forward to seeing some of the other legacy figures now. I know that I do have on pre-order for Laser Optimus Prime as well as Blitzwing, which I'm pretty sure I've seen some postings on Facebook as well as a couple of other places where they have them out in the wild. So if that happens to be the case and I do find one and get it out in the wild, I will cancel that pre-order. But yes, definitely this is definitely something to really behold. I'm really liking the way they scale. Like I said before, originally I was pretty much at the very beginning not liking it, but during the course of the review, I have to say it is not too bad. I'm really liking this figure after all. So at this point, let me go ahead and take the big bad boss out of the way and bring this bad boy. Oh, you know what? Yes, I might as well while I have you here. Alright, now let's go ahead and get him out of the way and bring big boy over here. Alrighty, so I have to say, on a scale of 1 through 10, I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8. Now, the reason for that is basically it is stiff as hell. It's stiff as hell, but that's not the only reason why I gave it an 8. Also, clearance issues in vehicle mode. The wheels should have been a little bit bigger, if not a little bit lower, in order for it to roll a little bit more better, a little bit properly. So hence my earlier comment, which I'm hoping that a third-party company will make, some larger wheels or an attachment to where I can snap the wheels on there, which will raise the vehicle mode a little bit higher, so it'll give that clearance. Let's see here. Other than that, those are the only two reasons I can think of that would warrant the score of 8. But that is my score. I'm sticking with it. And that is my take on the figure. So I'd like to hear from you. Now, I wound up picking this up over at my local Walmart. More than likely, there was like a whole fleet of them. So if you have the chance to pick one up, by all means, go ahead and do so. Now, I have seen some other legacy figures, which I honestly wound up passing up because they were mostly repaints of Scorponok, Cheetor, and Scorponok and Cheetor. That's what they were repaints of. And personally, I'm not planning on getting those. But other than that, I'd like to hear from you. Were you able to pick this up? And if so, do you like them? Do you hate them? Leave me your answer in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. Click onto the bell icon so you can be notified when I put up new videos. Now, speaking of videos, I just recently, checked out my subscription list, and it has gone up to, I believe, if memory serves me right, 193, around there. So I don't have that far to go in making my goal. And when I reach that goal, this is when I go ahead and put the bad kitty. So, as I stated before, I wound up getting this through Hasbro Pulse, because I had already picked one up through a friend of mine, and I really don't need two. And this one is complete, it's still in the box, all the weapons are there. So all you have to do is help me make 200 subscribers, and I will put this out for anyone to win within the continental United States, mind you. But I can't do that without your help. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed, who has liked my videos, and every so often who has commented or asked questions concerning the content that I put out. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys still could, stay on with me. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.